I'm Bree, and this is TJ. In 2017, we decided to break away from the norm and travel the US in our custom 4x4 van and Airstream. We loaded up our two dogs, Madly and Brody, and hit the road. We quickly realized life on the road is full of surprises, and our name-embracing Detours fit our new life perfectly. Please subscribe, and welcome to the adventure. Come to Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and have met back up with some RV friends of ours that we met a couple of years ago and have generously allowed us to mooch stock on their property. Can you believe how beautiful it is here?
This is an amazing place. Beautiful farmland all around us.
Yeah, they've got a church somewhere nearby, and every hour the church bells ring, and it's like a Hallmark movie.
Norman Rockwell painting here, yes.
It is incredible.
And the weather's been beautiful. It's not their typical weather for this time of year. They said they normally have snow by now, but we've been in the 70s and a little cooler today.
Yeah, it just cooled off today, so we're actually in our jackets today. But before today, we've been wearing shorts, and it's mid-November in Missouri. It's crazy. So today, Jeff and Sandy, our hosts, are going to bring us into Cape, as the locals call it, to show us around. One of the instant connections we had with Jeff and Sandy when we first met them, we were camped next to one another at an RV park, and one of the instant connections we had was their dog. They have another Brittany, and anybody that's ever had a Brittany knows that you go completely crazy once you've had a Brittany and just immediately have a connection with any other Brittany owner. Where's your bed? Where's your bed? Hi, Bandit. It's not a toy. It's not a toy. TJ, you have to play with Bandit. I'm trying to film Bandit, but he thinks our microphone is a toy, so he's making it impossible to film him. You're crazy. You can't have it. It's not a toy. So yeah, their dog Bandit is a Brittany, but a very unusual Brittany because he's black. Most Brittany's are either orange and white or liver and white. But anyways, it was an instant connection we had with Jeff and Sandy. This dog is so much fun. He's a lot younger than our dogs, and he's got that typical Brittany energy that they're known for.
Come out to the Veterans and Law Enforcement Memorial here in Cape Girardeau, and it just happens to be Veterans Day.
And they've got this just absolutely incredible display of hundreds of American flags that they've put out, and it's really a sight to behold.
It's just a really cool tribute to our fallen veterans and fallen law enforcement.
Yeah, I know by the time our audience sees this video, it'll be well past Veterans Day, but I guess this would be a really good opportunity just to say thank you to all of you that serve to protect us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Our friend Sandy just pointed out to us that each one of these flagpoles has the name of a soldier and what war they were in. And you see how many flags there are out here. It really kind of hits home. Well, these are our friends, Sandy and Jeff. And guys, thank you so much for bringing us here. This place has been incredible.
Well, we're blessed to have you visit us in Cape Girardeau and come see all the sights with us.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We passed by the Bill Emerson Memorial Bridge that crosses the mighty Mississippi, past the old trading post and courthouse from the 19th century, and along the flood wall painted with murals depicting this historic river town's history. For our next stop, we have come down to the Old Town district of Cape Girardeau. The rail line runs right through here. You've got a flood wall, and on the other side of that is the Mississippi River and
Illinois.
Yep, so we're right on a state line here. Maybe we'll fit another new state into our travels.
I haven't been to Illinois yet, so.
We have not. So the river is known for flooding, and Old Town Cape used to flood, I guess, pretty regularly. Apparently they're able to tell when a flood is coming, and they've got these massive metal gates that they'll come and actually manually close to make this wall, you know, effective. Because right now we're able just to walk through the hole in the wall to access the trails and the river on this side. But they've gotten really good at determining when the river is going to flood and are able to control the flooding. High water line marks on the column of the wall behind me, so you can see how high up the water has come in certain years. The highest mark is actually just from 4 years ago, 2016.
Can't imagine the water level getting so high that it crests this wall and floods the town on the other side.
With 130 blocks on the National Register of Historic Districts, Old Town Cape has one of the largest historic districts in the country. Cape was an established town in 1803 when Lewis and Clark stopped by before setting out on their famous expedition. 80 years later, Mark Twain complimented the hillside river town's handsome appearance as he steamed past. He would likely still recognize some of the buildings today. We have to keep moving if we're going to make it back to Florida to spend the holidays with family, so we say our goodbyes and get back on the road. Somehow there's never enough time, but we look forward to returning to Missouri when we have more time to explore. Does this mean we're officially back on the East Coast?
I believe so. We're east of the Mississippi River.
We have been hopscotching our way across state lines on our drive so far today, from Missouri to Illinois, Kentucky, and we're back in Illinois in the town of Metropolis. What is Metropolis known for?
It's the home of Superman.
It is. Oh yeah, our rig is blocking Superman. Dang it. What do you think?
It's funny. So Metropolis is just kind of on our way to where we're headed next, and we said, what the heck, we'll stop here and see Superman.
I'll be honest, I'm not a huge, don't block Superman. Step it back. I'm not a huge Superman fan. I'm not a huge superhero fan, period.
Except for me.
Well, yes, you're my superhero. But when I saw that we were coming by the hometown of Superman, it was like, you can't not stop and see that. What did we get?
Got our Superman patch from the Superman Museum.
Yep.
We didn't tour the museum, but they have a cool little store right here outside the statue and a museum and all the stuff. But we want to keep moving, so we're going to head on down the road.
Yeah.
But we got a patch.
I think it was well worth the stop.
Oh, absolutely. It's fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good way to break up a drive, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is a first for us. We are trying to get back across it's the Mississippi River, right?
Ohio River.
Oh, I keep messing them up. Every river I see, I think it's the Mississippi River, apparently. But yeah, we're trying to get back across into Kentucky, and the bridge on our route has a sign on it that says height restriction 9 foot 6 inches, which we are right at that, according to TJ. We very rarely, as in never in our 3 years on the road, have not fit under something.
Well, this is the first time.
Yeah.
That I can...
Well, thankfully the detour to get around the short bridge was a short one. And TJ's right. Absolutely better safe than sorry. If there's any doubt, you definitely want to err on the side of caution. And I did actually Google what's the exterior height of an Airstream. And according to the internet, and you know the internet's always right, an Airstream is 9 feet 9.5 inches. So yeah, we would not have made it if that's true. The other side of the Ohio River and back in Kentucky is the town of Paducah, and their claim to fame is the National Quilt Museum. Not the sort of thing I would normally do, but we've known multiple people that have come here and said how cool this museum is. So I'm gonna head in to check it out. So they have a mini quilt collection in here, and just to give it scale, I thought I'd stand next to it so that you could see just how small these quilts are. But the detail, they're so intricate. I know that must have been really hard on such a small piece of fabric. When I think of quilts, this is what I think of. And while I can appreciate the amount of detailed work that went into creating that, I will admit it's not exactly my cup of tea. It just has a certain aesthetic to it that isn't my taste. That said, walking through this quilt museum has been a real eye-opener in what is possible in quilting, for instance. This is not at all what I think of when I think of a quilt, and I love it. It's amazing. It looks like a photograph that we took at Black Canyon of the Gunnison, or any national park for that matter, and they were able to create that in a quilt. It's just amazing. And this one is bright and flowing and absolutely gorgeous. It's just very different so far. I mean, I've only made it through the front door of this museum, and I'm already kind of broken through a lot of those preconceived notions that I had of quilts. And when I thought of quilts, I thought of something that was on my grandma's bed. Could be a painting. It's incredible that somebody created this using pieces of fabric. It's really beautiful. I am a park bench. I am no different whether I reside in New York, Santa Fe, Venice, Prague, Vienna, or any small town anywhere in the world. I remain in place all seasons of the year and all weather, year after year, gazing at the same scenery. People come to visit me. Some are regular visitors, some pass my way but once. Children take a break from play, young lovers catch a moment alone. Some are waiting, others making a phone call, have their lunch, rest after a long day, read, or simply enjoy a beautiful day. Some are hopeful, some are weary. Some are peaceful, some are troubled. Some come alone, others in pairs or groups. Some stay a while, others take a quick break and move on. I see them all, but they never notice me. That was the Quilt Museum. It was a pleasant surprise. It felt a lot like an art museum, actually. They did a really great job displaying all the different types of quilts. And they had everything in there from a traditional quilt to miniature quilts, quilts that look like animals, quilts that had a story to tell about people on park benches. Some of the quilts had something to say. They were kind of taking a stand, you know? And so I found that fascinating, and it definitely gave me a new appreciation for quilting. It's $12 a person to go in, and yeah, I'm glad to have done it, but better get back to the van before TJ leaves me in Paducah. TJ and I decided to explore downtown Paducah because it looked pretty cute, and we could stretch our legs and get the dogs out and stretch their legs. And I must say, this town is super surprising. Just this really amazing, cool old vibe to it. It almost kind of feels a bit like Charleston. Like you just know there's a ton of history here if you start really digging into it. Like Cape Girardeau, Paducah also has a flood wall. So different river, apparently same problem.
Right. But it's nice that they use these walls as a kind of a blank canvas for artists to come and paint murals on them and depict pictures throughout history. And
yeah, they kind of tell a story, don't they?
Yeah, tell a little bit of story about the town that we're in. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, it is a great use of space. What could be an eyesore, you know, what could be really kind of ugly, they've taken and actually made an attraction in the city. Paducah. We've decided not to spend the night here. We've got about an hour's drive. You're just a big, bright ball of sun. We actually could have camped at the Quilt Museum. It's a harvest host, but we've decided to continue driving about another hour to check out a location that we missed last time we were in Kentucky. Moving on. As always, a big thank you to our patrons whose support help make these videos possible. If you'd like to help support the production of our videos, please head over to patreon.com/embracing detours. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.